Josh, can you see where people are raising hands?
I can, you bet. So if you don't know how to do this, it's on the actual participant panel. You'll see a little thing that says raise hand.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Alex Brand. Oh,
Yes.
yep, you're good, very, very fast.
Yeah.
Paul Harris. Hey, Paul's back. Good to see you, Paul.
Yeah, we have Paul.
And again, don't feel any pressure to be a panelist. It just means that you can participate in all portions of that. If you're just an attendee, you can participate through the Zoom. You can watch the mural. So you can send messages to me on there if you want to add something to the mural, but you won't actually be able to physically draw on the mural that we're going to go to in a moment yourself. That's the only difference. You can still see everything. It's just you're lowering your participation level.
Okay, great. So we have a couple of more people joining in as a panelist. Hi, Alex. Hi, Paul. Good to see you. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to share the mural board with everyone to join in, because that's going to be our major tool today. Let me just copy the link, and I'm going to post it in a chat. There we go. So you will all see the link in the chat to Mural Board. If you click that link, you will start joining the Mural Board as anonymous creatures.
I like that title.
Anonymous creature?
Yeah.
It's the name of my band.
Okay, so I see a lot of people joining in Mural over there. So once you're in Mural, you will see that there is already some panelist links over here. Those are the people who joined sessions. Okay, we have some noise.
If you
Joshua,
get stuck,
can you control?
if you make me the host, I can. Otherwise, it's just at the bottom of the participant thing. There's a function that says mute everyone, and it just mutes everybody.
From now on, I will promote you as a host, but will that actually remove my recording?
Yes, it would. So
okay, then I'm not gonna.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna mute everybody. And when you need to, and not you. Okay, I'm not gonna mute you, Josh. So here you are. Okay, if you have a noise background, please take care of that. So again, I'm gonna just leave 1 more minute. We have some more people joining in, and extend again the invitation to everyone. If you want to join as a panelist, 1 more time, please raise your hand.
So just as a note, Eva,
yes?
when you sent that link out, so if you're just an attendee, relax, you didn't get the mural link. Eva sent it to the panelists rather than to everyone. I'm resending it now. All of you should have the link now.
Thank you.
No worries.
So a few more people are joining in as panelists. Great. Okay, so I want to kick off officially now. Yes? Anybody wanted to say something?
I just got a message. Nuri Che would like to be a panelist as well.
Nuri.
There she is.
Yes.
It's possible that's.
Yes.
I got a message.
Promoted.
Cool.
Yep. Anybody else would like to move into panelist?
And again, if you're joining just now, panelist just means that you'll be able to contribute on the mural board. Otherwise, you can contribute through the Zoom chat, as well as you can watch everything that's in the mural board.
Okay, so I think we should move on. I'm going to start sharing my screen for the mural board. So everybody, if they get lost, if you got lost, you can look into the screen share.
And if you could add Paulina as a panelist, apologies. That was 1 more hand that was raised.
Sure, no worries, of course. Can do that. Yes, Paulina N. Wonderful. So we have 15 panelists. Really good. So thank you everybody for joining. We are here to start my first WakeMake Virtual Lightning Decision Jam. Thank you for supporting me, and be sure this is an experiment. And since it's the first time, I've been in this space of design thinking and design sprints for quite a bit of time. I haven't done it virtually as much as the whole process. I've done it in person as the whole process. So I'm going to summon everybody here in Mural to kind of check first who are our panelists and do really a quick introduction about ourselves. So I would just like to invite everybody to say your name and what attracted you today here to join into this exercise. I hope you can unmute yourself. So I'm going to start with me. For those, I believe I know most of you guys, but there are some people who don't know me. So my name is Eva Sladic-Getzo, originally from Croatia, living in Hong Kong and Asia for a long time, last 15 years. I'm running my own business called WakeMake, which is innovation and change consultancy. So I work with various size companies to help them innovate and build their capability and resilience in times of change. I'm really keen on going into all virtual, and this is where I start. So thank you very much. Who wants to go next? I'm going to say names. Joshua, how about we start with you?
Joshua, please unmute yourself.
Yes, I unmuted you.
I was unmuting myself by holding down the space bar, but I was muted and unmuted at the same time. Two dueling factors. So if you want to unmute yourself, you can just hold down the space bar, or you can use the button in the corner. So world's briefest introduction. I'm the face down at the bottom. Originally from Hawaii, based in Hong Kong now, outside the States for 20 years. And I run a communications consultancy called Nomium. And just happy to be here in the background, helping support anything if anyone gets stuck. That's me. Who's next? Shall I call in someone?
I'll go next.
Perfect.
So hi everyone, I'm Macy and I work with CFA Institute here in Hong Kong. And my job mainly is actually to work with institutional clients, banks, asset managers, within the financial services space. So we work with people actually. So, and that's the reason why I'm interested in just joining this today, to learn more from you guys, and especially to learn more from other panelists. So.
Thank you, Macy. Joshua, you want to call names, or we can go in order on Mural?
It's always fun to have the previous person nominate the next. Macy, who do you want to hear from next?
I'm just gonna go straight down, and Sundari, can I pick you?
Yeah, sure. I just realized that we have a common link, and so I will talk to you about that later. So I'm Soundari, a Hong Konger, been here 14 years, which in Indian terms is like being out in the forest and being banished out of the forest for 14 years kind of thing. Feels like that a little bit now. We run a leadership consultancy. We help leaders tell stories to connect, to influence, to engage. Met Richard, Eva on different occasions, Josh, his partner, Robert, through another occasion. So I just feel it's all such a beautifully, wonderfully connected world. So very happy to be here. And I would like to nominate Keith, since he's looking away somewhere.
Mute. Oh, okay, I'm unmuted now. Okay, I'm Keith Tam. I'm from the Hong Kong Design Institute. I'm in design education, more specifically running academic programs in communication design. I'm a communication design by training, more specifically in typography and information design. I'm based in Hong Kong, obviously, at Hong Kong Design Institute. I've lived in the UK and in Canada as well. the reason I'm here is because I met Eva at a wonderful workshop that she gave at the Hong Kong Design Institute. Was it last year or was it 2 years ago already?
I think it was more 2 years ago.
Right, yeah. And I've been working from home for 7 weeks now. So this is something new for me. And I'm curious of what we can come up with on that topic. So yeah. Let's see. I'll nominate Galina.
I presume that was me. Hi, everyone. So my name is Paulina.
Oh, okay.
That was close enough. That was close enough. It's good.
Sorry,
Don't worry.
there is actually a Galina, is it? Okay, maybe not.
Is there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw it on the on Mural. Anyway, hi, Paulina.
Yeah. Okay. Nice to meet everyone. So I'm working for the Desk. It's a community. It's a co-working, community-oriented space. So I met with Eva during a user experience design conference. It's more like From a Future conference back in January. And then right now, Eva is working with Richard in one interesting project. So I have this opportunity to actually kind of see Eva from time to time at the desk as well, which is really exciting. But I'm here today because I'm interested in learning more about the virtual or visual virtual workspace environments, and also how we can collaborate virtually in a efficient manner. And I'm also quite interested in learning more about design sprints and how to do them online. So it's more on my personal interest side, not only work related. So I'm quite happy to meet you here, everyone. And yeah, I hope that we are going to have a very interesting evening. Thank you. Oh, sorry. And I'm next. So Hussein, can you introduce yourself? Thank you.
Sure. So I'm Hussein Devani. This is my second workshop with Eva. And for me, like, I work as a UX design leader for Decathlon in Hong Kong. It's a sports company. And I'm quite excited to be a part of this virtual design sprint. I've heard quite a lot about it, but this is my first experience joining it. So yeah.
Who do you nominate, Hussein?
Let's see. How about Paul?
Hi, just moving.
I'm Paul. I'm in Dublin, Ireland, and this is my second ever Zoom webinar thing. The first one was with the Desk, the Hong Kong-based. It was a cocktail COVID evening, even though it wasn't evening for me here in Dublin, so I was without a cocktail. But I'm
You still had
interested
whiskey in
in
your coffee.
That's, I can't confirm or deny that, Joshua. So my reason for being here, I'm very interested in design and aesthetics and in my personal life, but it bleeds over into my professional life. I'm an organizational psychologist with a particular interest in how people can improve their interactions within organizations and how organizations can design themselves to facilitate that. And my main pull for being here is I just really enjoy creative collaboration of any sort. So I'm here primarily to learn. I haven't done any design sprints before, so I'm quite interested, like Paulina. And if I can contribute, then very happy to. So that's me. Okay, so I have to nominate Hyung.
Hi, Paul. Sorry, I spoke over you then because I thought they said Hyung, not Paul. So apologies for that. Hi, everyone. My name's Hyung. I'm based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I have a strong background in design thinking, and that led me to design sprints. So we run design sprints here, both in person and remotely. And I'm here because actually, through GVDS, which I'm sure Ivo will mention later, I met another guy called Abel from the Philippines, and we're trying to set up a more of a community for Asia Pac, because currently all of the design sprint stuff is very US and European time zoned. So we're trying to do stuff for people in our time zone. So I'm here just to meet people from the region, and hopefully we can all collaborate and work more closely together. And I'm gonna hand over to Alex, because I actually met him last week and we had a chat for the first time on Monday.
Yeah, hi to everybody. So yeah, we've chat like yesterday or the day before that. So, and Hyogmi introduced me to this very workshop. And yeah, right now I'm preparing my first design sprint. I have background in brand strategy. So, and right now I'm transitioning to design thinking and design sprints. So I just want to dive deep into these workshops and learn as fast as I can how to run a design sprint. And right now I'm going to call, let me see, Grant, did you speak?
Am I on? There you go. Hey, hi, Grant Schmidt. I'm based in Sydney, so it's 7:30 p.m. here, and I do have a cocktail. I work for a company called GFG Alliance, which is a global steel business. So I head up a function focused on people and culture performance. Came across Mural through Richard Clayton, who's up there below me, who introduced me to Eva. Eva's done a couple of workshops with us using Mural, and I'm particularly interested in technology that supports virtual workshopping, because I think, you know, things like Zoom, while have their place, have very limited functionality in actually producing output. So it's been really interesting, and just keen to see how this gig works tonight. So over to you, Richard.
Yeah, so my name's Richard. I research irony for a living, and I seem to know half of you. So yeah, I'm here because I work with half of you, I think, in one way or another. And I'm here to support Eva because I think it's a great thing she's trying to do. Who am I going to nominate? I have to.
You have Karin or Nuri?
Karen, because I can see that was the first name that came up. It was Miles there.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. I'm Karen. I live in Shanghai, China, and I am a creative solutions consultant working for an organization called Asia Growth Solutions. And my past work, I have been trained with design thinking from the D School with their K-12 lab, and also designing for social systems. And I took the AJ Smart training on sprints, and I've never participated in a lightning decision jam, and either in person or virtually, so I'm really excited about this. And Eva and I connected first at a Lego Serious Play meetup in Asia, and then at an Innovators Conference here in Shanghai. And so I'm just really grateful to be here, and I'm looking forward to it. And who is Amber here?
Nuri is the last one, yeah.
Okay, great, tag. Nuri, can you unmute your mic?
Oh, it's keep muting and unmuting. Hello. Am I unmuted? Oh, okay, great. Hi, my name is Nuri. I'm based here in Hong Kong, and I actually met Eva through Lego Serious Play at Mix Studios. And I'm working as a design thinker and a service designer. And it's been about 4 years since I moved to Hong Kong, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. We have an awesome group of panelists, which many of you come from design field. Some are very skilled in design sprints, which is great. I am really open to any kind of feedback. For those who are very experienced, please let me know what works, what would you do better. For those who are new to all of this, also feedback from you is very welcome. So if something pops up into your mind, we are not going to have discussions during these exercises. Some time will be there for discussing certain things, but if you have something as a feedback, please just write it down in a chat so I can have that information. This is all about learning and growth, so that would be wonderful. Thank you so much. Next steps for us are to move into Mural Board. So we're not going to spend too much time on Zoom anymore. I think all of you will be in your browsers in the Mural Board, and we're going to move quickly through the exercises that are all timed up. And the first one is here. I'm going to summon everybody to join around this little boat. So here we are. And the exercise here is to think about what works and what doesn't work when we work at home. So the first exercise we're going to do is think about stuff that works. What are the positive things when we work at home? And this can be looked from perspective of usually what works when we're at home, what works now at this moment, and what do you think could actually stay as a silver lining of this situation in the future? So I'm going to time this exercise and give everybody 3 minutes. What you need to do is just double click on these gray cards that are prepared around the sail, and think about all the good stuff and write them down on those cards. Go for quantity. So just fill them up. If anybody has challenges with Mural, you can also write it in a chat. Josh will just pass that on.
And any attendees who are not panelists, so you're not actually typing in the Mural, feel free to just toss any ideas into the chat bar and I will add them. No pressure, but I'm very happy to do my copy paste duties. Thank you, Nikki. I've put those up there.
I'm creating more cards for everybody to paste them in. Okay, we have a lot here. A lot of good stuff is actually happening.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, time is up. Let's take 1 minute and look into those cards just to see what other people wrote. Please just stop typing now. There is just a lot of good things here. Just have a glance of what everybody else are doing. If you want to pan around, for those who are not familiar with Mural, you can just hold your space bar It will turn your cursor in a hand, and then you can drag it around. So fabulous. A lot of good stuff. Less laundry. I love that one. Less laundry to do. That is repeating. Working in a pajama, right?
Yeah.
That's really nice. Comfortable clothes. Comfort. Fewer expenses. Yeah, that's right. Saving time on a commute, cooking lunch, saving taxi money. Great. So now I see some people actually wrote down under the water, which is okay. But I see there are some things that are like not enough exercise, interruption by family members. Is that a good thing? I believe that's a good thing. I think we're going to leave it here as a good thing. I'm going to create now a new board down here where we have an anchor for us to look into different set of in a polar opposite, and we're going to think about all the bad stuff that is here. So give me just a second, like to copy.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were supposed to put the bad stuff down below.
Oh,
like
it's okay.
Sorry, I already did that, but
You already did that. Okay, so that is the next exercise. So you can just repeat them, or you can create new
yeah,
ones.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I'm creating a map down here. Okay, so this is where the anchor is. Let's think about the stuff that is not working. Let's can take 3 minutes, and everybody can go down where the anchor is. So I'm summoning you all here, and just start tapping around the anchor. Don't type anymore into the positive things.
And attendees, same as before, if there's anything you want me to add, just let me know and I'll copy and paste it to the board. Just type it in the chat.
We have 1 minute left. Keep on going, guys. Okay, 30 seconds left. Okay, time's up. Let's stop typing now. what do we need to do next is just sift through all of this information. So I would like to invite everybody just to look what is written. And when you see two common or very near ideas or thoughts, like for example, sitting at a desk for too long for meetings, or more sedentary, less movement, what you can do is just hold shift and select both of those cards, and the new window will be opened, and you will see like all the letter signs where you can control those cards, and you can change their color. So when you see two similar cards, you can just select them holding shift and change their color into similar color. This is helping everybody to sift through the information, because our next step is to vote on these challenges and see which one we want to take forward as a group. Okay. So check if there is already existing color. Try to find a new one. I'm gonna help with some here, so it doesn't confuse us. Mm-hmm. It's wonderful to see how the group is doing this so fast. What do you think, Josh?
It's awesome. And except for Richard's trackpad sucks. That's an official quote, by the way. That's in the comments.
His trackpad sucks.
Yes, Richard, we'll buy you a new mouse. We'll buy you a nice little portable trackpad.
Yeah.
I'm amazed how fast it is.
Yeah. It's amazing. So distracting, fewer social interaction, not having time with your teammates, face-to-face contact. Okay. Okay, we have done an awesome job here. I see people are still working. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to close this exercise in 10 seconds. The next step for us is to take a vote. So what's going to happen with this vote? We're going to choose challenges that the group thinks are good challenges to take on, actually, and try to resolve them. And I'm going to start a voting session, and everybody will have 5 votes. And what you will do when you start voting, you click on the challenge on the card that you want to vote on. You will not see what other people's are voting on. If you want to remove your vote, you hold shift and click on that on that card where you voted. Now, if you're voting on a group, if you see that some cards have the same color, and if you want to vote on that group, choose the card that is closest to your idea. What would you actually like to resolve there? So I'm going to start the session now, and the voting will appear. So 20 people are voting. Everybody have 5 votes. Let's see where we want to go.
I love watching everything filling up, the colors, the whole, the feeling of interaction that comes out of it.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And how quickly. So Paul says in the chat, this must be how ants and bees feel.
And I think once you did the intro session, it's like really intuitive. So something for, everybody to very easily hop on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We have fish, bird, and crab still making up their minds. Fish is catching up. 1 vote left for crab, 1 vote left for bird. Crab got it. Fish got it. And bird, done. We are all in. I'm going to end voting session and let's see where we are. This is always very exciting. Whoa. 5 votes. Hard to stop working. 4 votes. No more work-life separation. Everything is together. And interaction with others are the top votes with unique voters. So we're going to find those cards and move them into the next part. So what else do we have? 3 votes. Less random chit chat with colleagues, hard to keep discipline, waking up later, working later, fewer social interactions, right? That's similar watercolor conversation. So we have like red group is really, really interesting. Watercolor conversation are missing and interactions. And then we have a lot of with 1 vote. So what we are doing now, we are moving those 5 vote things forward. Let me just copy paste them. Hard to stop working, no more work-life balance, interaction with others. So I'm gonna just copy paste. Mm-hmm. And the third one is here. Excellent. So we have these 3 cards. Now as a group, I'm going to summon you all here on the next exercise and next step. Are those the right cards I took? Joshua, can you just check me out? Yeah, I think I am. So I'm going to turn them back to gray. Yeah, thank you. What we're going to do now, so I have those 3 cards and we're going to rank them by priority. What do you think is the highest priority? The way we're going to do this, I'm going to hold the card here in the middle, and then all of you are going to put your cursor somewhere where you think on this scale, low or high. What is this in comparison with other 2 cards? So hard to stop working as a priority is where? High or low? So you just put your cursor on this scale. I'm missing
Sorry, I
some
can't
people.
see it.
Okay, I summoned you.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay, great.
Yeah, you hear it? Hard to stop working is where? I am gonna ask for group. All right.
I just love that phrase, I summon you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Eva sounds like a judge.
I summon you. Hard to stop working is somewhere in the middle. Interaction with others. Is it this low or high priority to fix? It is somewhere, okay, I see it here. Great. No more work-life separation. Everything is together. High or low priority? Ooh, this is all spread around. Spread around, so I see a lot of people are somewhere here. Okay. There is a mix of feeling. Okay. So interaction with others seems like a highest priority, then separation of work life and stopping to actual work. So they're quite similar. What we need
Eva, do you like
Yes?
the different cursor strategies? Some people just move their cursor and keep it in one place, but then there's the people who just like furiously circle it, hoping it gets your attention. Just wanted to comment on that. Sorry, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Well noted.
Well noted, yeah. I don't know what to do with that now. I'm just going to take it forward, you know, as it is. So interaction with others is a highest priority. We will take this challenge forward, and we're going to take it into a next step, which is creating a question. So once we have a challenge, we need to turn it into actionable question that's going to inspire us to create ideas around it. So for example, when you have a challenge in the organization and someone says, I have no idea what is happening with the project, how you can actually turn that into actionable question that can help everybody think about solving that challenge is to say, how might we? So HMW stands for how might we? So the question would go, how might we ensure that everyone is in the loop of what is going on with the project? Or another example in here, like closer to this topic, is some people don't have quiet space to work at home. So how might we help people work at home when there is no quiet space? So when we have a challenge that says there is no interaction with others, or we have a lack of interaction with others, the how might we question might sound like, for example, how might we increase interaction with others while working at home? So if there is any other ideas, so I have these cards here. I'm inviting you to create your own how might we version. What do you think this question or this challenge question might sound like? Again, if there is people in the chat who would like to contribute, please write it in the chat and we will add them here. Now we have yellow cards. I'm going to turn them on in gray. So let's not create too many. We want to move this step forward quite fast. Let's see, let's create 12 of those. 15. Yeah, 15 would be enough. Interesting questions. Okay, great. So 1 more minute. If someone wants to think about the question, you can write it in. There are 2 more free spots here. First come, first serve basis. One more spot left, 30 seconds left. Who's going to take it on? And one is still open, and we have 6 seconds left. Wonderful questions. I really like these. How might we create opportunities for intentional community?
Paul, you're perfect adding to the mural. My note is just for people who are attendees who actually don't have mural access. No worries, you're all good.
Okay, so time's up. Let's vote. Let's vote on this one. So everybody's going to take now 2 votes. And we're going to choose a question that we want to take forward. I'm starting the voting session now. So take your time to read through all the questions and then begin voting. The voting session is in progress.
Is it 2 votes?
2 votes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody are pretty much close. And Owl is the last voter, and Owl is done. So we have Gorilla Duck. It's probably people who are on 2 devices or something, but they are not participating. So I'm ending the voting session for everyone. And let's see where we ended up. The winner is 5 votes. How might we use this as an opportunity to recalibrate to our actual rather than assumed habitual need for social interaction? That's a long one. 4 votes. How might we create chance encounters with people we work with? And 3 votes are how might we create opportunities for intentional community? How might we increase interaction with others while working from home? Okay, so I'm gonna take the one with the most votes forward and just talk a little bit about it with people who voted for it. What about this one is actually interesting to you? Why did you vote on it? And is there any way that we can make it more motivational, like something that is inspiring, more inspirational question? How can we frame it differently? So any thoughts? I'm inviting anybody who wants to talk about this question. Who is the author?
Nobody's owning up for that.
No one everybody voted. Like the most people voted, but nobody wants to. Yes.
I was holding my hand up silently.
Okay, so it's your poll. What do you mean by recalibrate, actually?
Okay, so it's kind of like a framework for thinking about this scenario that we're all in. It is that you can reframe it as an opportunity to recalibrate to certain behaviors that you've just sort of over time ended up in a habit of, but have never had an opportunity to question or to reappraise. And so sometimes I think it can be useful to do that for some people. So I just wanted to throw that in there because it's very easy to miss it if you don't think about it. It's very easy for us all to assume that where we want to be is where we were. And I'm questioning that. I'm not entirely sure that that's, I understand that it's easy to do that and that it's a very tempting default, but I'm just pulling at the thread a little bit and hoping others will as well.
Interesting. Any other thoughts?
I knew it was Paul who wrote it. Just I've only met him once, but he speaks like that. So
Yeah.
So, and it was very similar to what I wrote as well, but he worded it much better.
I'm also much better looking than you, Richard. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. And we
True and
yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things that we need to take advantage of when we're working from home. There is more time to reflect. You know, this is not the kind of thing you can do when you're at work because you're interrupted and distracted the whole time. That's why I voted for it. It was a better worded version of something I think we need to do, and perhaps we only have this chance to do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, when I read this question, for me it was really more about like making a choice with whom you are connecting, and being more intentional in terms of what type of people you bring into your life and like how you communicate with them. And another thing, I think there is kind of intention. It's not only about conversations, but also the kind of the interactions. So how do you build these interactions beyond the conversations? That was another question that I thought about while voting for this item.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts? Good. So if there is no strong objections to taking this question forward, I say we just go for it. So if everybody understands what the question is about, any objections? Any misunderstanding?
Can we simplify it or make it shorter?
Yes. Do you have a suggestion?
Not yet. Recalibrate.
How might we?
How might we use this as the time and space to reflect on our communication?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
How might we use?
Is communication going too broad, Richard? Since it's specifically social interaction?
I would agree with that. I think keep it to interaction. Social interaction was at the heart of the original thing, I think.
On to reflect on our social interaction.
I think we only won on that one because Richard was just on mute when he was talking a moment ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying it was down to Paul.
Okay. So good.
Beautiful.
This is the one.
Yeah,
It's
I'm just curious.
whole new world of office politics.
Good. So we have our challenge question.
It's also social interaction online, right? It's not really social interaction.
Could be a phone call, I guess.
Yeah.
Social interaction while working from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
On our social interaction while working at home. Would you like to add that? Mm-hmm.
Does it mean that though, or does it mean now we've got this? Now we're actually thinking about how we're communicating in a very or interacting in a very intentional way. How do we do that better while we're working from home? But how do we also learn about ourselves so that we will change that as we go back into the office? So I think that might restrict it a little bit. Because there's that learning of how are we coping with this? Are we interacting the way that we like to, and what's that telling us about our habits?
Okay, so what about if we add how might we use this time and space to reflect on our social interaction and make it as we want it to be, or make it optimal for ourselves? Like,
that would just make it a bit more long and complicated.
I think the recalibration was important in the original question, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. So reflection is not the same as recalibration. I agree.
Yeah, so it's about adjusting when we get back to, well, normal should
Yeah,
we
it's
say
it's
normal?
in a way identifying what is actually like useful or helpful and what is not, where you actually need to invest time and where you can pull off, right?
Yeah, because you know at the workplace we have a lot of opportunities to socially interact, right? But sometimes it could be too much interaction, right? Or too little, right?
That's correct.
Even when we're at the workplace.
Yeah.
So this is a chance for us to rethink
Good.
that. Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm going to move this forward into next exercise, which is rapid ideation. So I actually made an executive decision here, and I frame it as how might we use this time and space to adjust our social interactions or a social interaction. So let's just brainstorm and have really go for bold ideas, go for quantity over quality. There is no good idea, it's just ideas. So again, just double click on this gray blocks here, and I'm gonna give everybody 3 minutes to write down as many ideas as possible until all the blocks are filled up. Bold ideas, impossible ideas are also encouraged. Please go for those. It can be really funny as well.
And attendees, again, if you've got an idea, feel free to toss it into the chat. Or if you've got a question about this process, feel free to toss it in the chat. I've also put up a little note there. If you want to give us feedback on how you're enjoying this process or how you're feeling about it, 1 to 10, with 1 being awful and 10 being awesome, feel free to just type a number in the chat.
Josh, did you just drop out?
I should still be here.
Yeah, you're here still, but
Cool.
I think.
Oh, you didn't hear what I said?
No.
Oh, well, then you could read my lips. I was saying, attendees, if you've got something, feel free to share it in the chat bar. If you've got a question, feel free to share it in the chat bar as well. We've also asked if you could give us a little feedback, scale of 1 to 10, how you're feeling about this process. 10 being awesome, 1 being awful. So just give a little feedback in there if you've got a chance.
Okay, I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes. We can fill these cards. Let's go for it. Ooh, okay. One more to go. So let's do the same thing now. It looks like, yeah, we all filled them up. Let's look for same cards, like they're similar in ideas. For example, we have virtual sabbatical, and we have something ban work for a month, or everyone just stop working completely for 2 weeks. So find a color and just put those in a color. And then we're going to fix it up if we see there's some overlaps. Let's do this for 2 minutes and try to clear it up a little bit.
And Eva, one cool question that came through on the chat is it the usual part of the process to leave interpretation to participants? Meaning things like terms like social interaction and adjustment do not necessarily mean the same thing for different people. Someone was wondering if it's usual to leave it open for interpretation or not. Just your thoughts.
It is left for interpretation here in this rapid process. So just because we are doing this in order to move forward fast, we are not creating too much discussion. We can always go back to those ideas. The lightning decision jam idea is basically to move us forward into next steps as fast as possible. But if there is any objections to things or different interpretations, we can always go back later. So in terms of the exercise, we want to do this exercise as fast as possible and then discuss later on. I hope that answers the question. Because if we start sharing now what social interaction means for all of us, we won't be able to move forward for our next maybe day or two.
Exactly. Move fast, break things.
Exactly.
As dangerous as that can be.
Okay, this is good sift through ideas. Now we have time, so we have 25 minutes left still to do this, and I'm gonna go and invite everybody to do affinity diagramming. So since we already kind of mapped the ideas one to another, we can see what groups they're in. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna copy paste these ideas, or we can also drag them actually, into this affinity diagramming on the top. I'm gonna call you all here. I'm not gonna call you, invite you, not summon you. So we have categories, and I would like to invite, just grab one group or ideas that you really like and put them one onto another. For example, we have app here, app to call colleagues. So this can be called technology tools or this category. For example. So everybody just grab one category and drag things in. So let's do that for another, let's say 3 minutes and see how it goes. We can extend more. And see how the group works fast, like the bees and ants. Whoa, look at that going. Amazing. I love seeing this. It's very exciting.
This is the bit my rubbish map stops me from being part of. I just can't move quickly enough.
Because of your trackpad?
Yeah, just can't do it.
Okay.
I can't
Yeah,
zoom in and out. I can't zoom in and out quickly enough.
I'm feeling your pain, Richard. It's a
Mm.
combination of my trackpad and internet connection. I think it's hard to do it in real time.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
It's nice to watch though. So I just need to make sure I've got a mouse with me next time.
Okay. Mm.
I'm going to add another category.
Sure. Yes, of course, please. If there is more than 10 cards in one category, it probably needs to go into different category.
I'm trying to paste one of these, copy and paste one of these. I don't know how to do this.
Okay, let me do it for you.
Okay, so the this purple one here, just add one more column. Policies, I think.
Policies. So I created a policy here for band work.
Okay.
Okay, we can call that one complete time off. You want to have policy, okay?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
That's good. Okay.
There's only one though. Let's see, I saw some before.
Do you think this idea of making policy to reflect on social interactions with colleagues could go with something else like virtual sabbatical, or
it's a reflection,
or making feel free to bother policy while working time?
Yeah.
But maybe we can policy, we have policy here as well. Yeah. Good. So we have some categories, and most of the ideas fit into these affinity categories. We didn't put them all up here, which is okay. That means that they didn't grab attention at the moment from the group. We can look at them later, come back, see if we missed something. But for the sake of time, we're going to move forward now into voting on these ideas. So affinity diagramming or making ideas similar helps us, grouping them helps us actually sift through a large content to a lot of information. So for visual sake, I'm just going to move these cards again all. I'm going to change the color for all of them into gray, because you might be attracted to certain color and then vote for that. Let me see if I can group that. Okay, some things are moved. It's hard to chase now. Everybody are working here. Okay. One more second. Okay, this is not going to work. So let's just keep them in color. Just be in mind, bear in mind that color is not here to attract you. Read the idea. So we're going to do the voting. and everybody get 5 votes. Oh, everybody get 3 votes to vote on top 3 ideas that you would like to see happening and coming to life. So voting session starts now. Begin voting.
Are we voting on the mindset, on the, not the green cards, or are we actually voting on the...
On the idea itself, not on the category.
Not on the category.
No.
So Mario says we need music during voting times. Richard, you have a very dulcet baritone. If you're having trouble with your mouse, would you mind doing a bit of a cappella for us?
Yes, very much I would.
Thanks, Mario. Very good suggestion.
I think if I started singing with the end of the session in about 30 seconds, as everybody leaves with holding their ears.
Just hum the music for Jeopardy.
I'm not even sure I know what that is.
Well, Josh, you know how to do this, right? In Zoom, you can play some music for all of us. Yeah.
Yes, I can.
If you're a host. Now tell me that.
If I'm a host, you can. Also, so it works pretty well. One note on Zoom is sometimes it depends on the audio settings. You may want to check it with a friend before you do it. Every once in a while, you will deafen other human beings with whatever music you're playing. So it does work really well. Just I usually actually put up a Spotify playlist and say, people, if you want the background music, click on that. That way they can control their own volume for the music and they can turn it off if they want.
We are talking about social interaction, right? So one of you should be singing or playing the guitar or whatever.
Sundari, I thank you for volunteering for that.
Only for the ideas.
So anyone has a good Spotify playlist that they can share, you can put it in a chat. Mario, maybe you can share a music that you would like to hear with whole group, and then people.
Question from the chat coming through, Eva. Are we sharing the output from this session afterwards beyond the video? Especially the template was the request.
Yes, I can share the templates. No problem. Everybody voted? I'm ending the session. Let's see what ideas we want to take forward. The winner is, Mural is taking a little bit of time to process this. 5 votes, tool to show emotions while having a conversation. 4 votes, use color code to show how social you are feeling today. And 3 votes, track and measure interaction, listen with intent. That sounds interesting. Tool to show emotions while having a conversation. And then we have color code to show how you're feeling. And next we have 3 votes, track and measure interaction. And then we have listen with intent. Great. So we have these 3 ideas. Let me now, since track and measure with interaction and listen with intent are both with 3 votes, we need to do a little bit of checking in with a group. Again, I'm just gonna take them forward down there where we have a scale. Just bear with me for a second. And I'm gonna invite you all to this area. Here you are. So here we are on a scale. So we have these 2 ideas that got the same number of votes, and we need to range them by interest. So I'm gonna ask again everybody to put their cursor on a low or high interest for track and measure interaction. What do you think? Is this low or high interest for you? Ooh, we are quite split. Okay. All over the place. I see most of the people higher interest is here. Track and measure interaction. Then listen with intent. Is that low or high interest? Again, all over the place. It's higher, it's winning towards higher. Oh no, I think it's somewhere here. It looks like somewhere. Okay, so winner is track and measure interaction for this time. So we're gonna now transfer those ideas over here, and next thing we're gonna do is think about what are the results, what are the actual outcomes of these ideas that we wanna see. Right, so we have blue idea, track and measure interaction. Oh, no, tool to show emotions while having a conversation is the blue one. And what you need to do next is go into these gray boxes here and just drop in what is the outcome that you think might come out of these ideas if implemented regarding our challenge question, which I'm just gonna pop in now. So you can all stay here in this area and you can start writing in the outcomes. This looks great. Let's take another 3 minutes to do this. Snarky and sincere. This must be you, Richard. Yeah.
Which one was me?
Snarky and or sincere. No. Maybe. Not tell stories when someone is angry. Nice. Okay. These are getting filled pretty fast. Great, guys. Wonderful. So let's take this forward as well. We have 1 more minute. It looks like we are exhausted. Ideas are here. Good job. Mm-hmm. What would be not to tell stories when someone is angry?
Oh, that was me. Basically, just because you want to communicate, just don't rush in. If you're more mindful of somebody's emotions, address the emotions and find out why, what, before being keen to share.
Uh-huh. So don't push, basically, right?
Yeah, don't push your
You
agenda.
don't push. Yeah, don't push your agenda. Okay.
Those emotions. Yeah.
Okay, great. Everybody now going to get 3 votes again to vote on one outcome for each idea that you think would be the best outcome for that idea. So we're going to start a voting session quickly again. And 3 votes. Each vote goes for one outcome for every idea. So don't put all 3 votes on one card. Then the exercise wouldn't make any sense. So let's start voting. So vote on the gray cards. Mm-hmm. Okay, it looks like everybody voted. I'm going to end the session. So I'm just going to take the biggest number of votes for every idea forward into our next exercise, where we're going to show interest on what idea and what outcomes we would like to work on. So let's say you're going to be a team, or you can set up a team to join the virtual design sprint, for example. And this is how you can actually see what people would like to work on and where their interest is and what would they like to do. So I'm just going to copy paste the biggest, the best, the most voted outcomes, the biggest, the best, the most voted. I'm talking too much while doing stuff, so I better do this before, okay? Greater self-awareness. So we have 3 key outcomes here. Everybody can see, we have our questions. So how might we use this time and space to adjust our social interaction? Our ideas are, we can have a tool to show emotions while having a conversation. And the best outcome would be that it would make emotional intelligence simple. And then we have use color code to show how socially you're feeling today. The outcome would be mindful of people emotions. And the third idea is track and measure interaction. The outcome would be greater self-awareness. So the next step for everybody is to write down your name in the column on all three ideas. So in the column, fill your name from bottom to top. So just choose one column and write in your name by double clicking. And after you've done that, you will pull that circle down into this Eisenhower matrix on the level that shows how impactful you think this idea and outcome would be to actually resolve our question, and how interested you are. So on one axis, on horizontal axis is the interest from low to high, and on vertical axis is the impact from low to high. Bottom is low, high is the top. So once you wrote your name in all the circles, you can just pull down that circle and place it where your interest and impact lies for this idea. So
which idea are we voting for right now?
So there is no.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. Oh, the colors.
There is a color coloration. Yes. Yeah. If there is a fight for columns, just can copy.
I think someone voted for me already.
Someone voted for you? Okay, there is another column here where you can use and put your name in it.
That's diplomacy.
Someone, you mean someone dragged your name down?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's see, we're quite spread. The second, the orange idea is mostly up in a high impact, high interest, as well as blue one. Some kind of tool that shows emotions. It's pretty equal, actually. The green one is also, there is quite a lot of people there. It would be interesting. So now, in the interest of time, look, it's 7 p.m. This webinar was scheduled to last until 7. I'm going to invite you to stay, if you can, for another, let's say, 15 minutes. We are not going to probably reach the end exercise. That would be actual next steps that need to happen for these ideas to go forward. I think I overestimated the introduction time. But I would like to hear now from, once we are done this, So I see a lot of people here in a high interest, high impact. So if your name is repeating here, you have high interest, high impact idea, and you have maybe 2 or 3 of them, please choose one circle where your name in. For example, I'm going to say Karin here. Do you want to really work on blue or a yellow one? And what you need to do is just, when you click on it, it will open up, and then you can put an outline on it. So just make an outline on the one that you want to work on. So I just made an example here, Karin, by putting outline on yours. You don't need to, I will remove it, or you already did. That's excellent. So this is how we actually can see who can be in a team. Today, take the ideas forward and do something about it. So now we have a blue team, which is Alex. You're the only one in a blue team. I'm just going to move you here. So we have Alex here, and then we have yellow team, Sondari. So what I'm doing now, just taking the circles that are outlined, please take your circle there and create a team down here on the side. So you can just drag. Okay, I'm helping some. So this is what we have. We have a very big green team. And we have 2 people in the blue team. We have 4 people in the yellow team or orange, whatever it is. So the next step for us would be to actually go and decide on the next steps, what needs to be done for this idea to be taken forward. So we would write here steps, and I don't think we can do this now. It's 7:05, and I would like to leave like 15 minutes for discussion about this. So the next steps would be about research that needs to be done, SMEs and a community that needs to talk about, and what role do you want to play in a team. So I want to close the exercise here. What we got out is a question, 3 ideas, and people who want to work on it. And I would really like to open it out to the group and see what are your thoughts or about anything that we went through, and invite you to share.
So Eva, Grant here.
Yes.
I really like the flow. I think the technology can be really slow though. I find it clunky. I think it's the internet connection sensitive. The copying and pasting, the moving, it can be really clunky at times, and that's I think its biggest challenge.
Okay, thank you.
That's because Grant lives in Australia though, which has the slowest internet of any country I've ever lived in.
and 2 beers.
That's another technology, right?
I'm
Another
just
technology
curious.
issue.
I'm
Yes.
just curious if it's more about your computer than the internet speed, because Josh is using same Wi-Fi with me, but he's having a really better computer right now, and he is work the monitor screen is seamless. But I'm using my MacBook Pro, but yeah, I'm having a problem like moving things around, you know, copy and paste, those kind of things.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
having similar problems, and I was looking to see how stressed out my computer is, and it's not. So there is some other variable that seems to be causing things to be a bit sluggish when we're all trying to interact on the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Actually,
trying to drag a shape a few times before I could actually do it. So. But otherwise, I think I was curious about, you know, how to run design thinking kind of activities online, and you know, I've participated in a lot of these in person. I've ran these workshops with students, so I'm familiar with, you know, the physical, you know, process when we're doing it face to face. And I think this is totally doable. You know, I think this is my first time doing it. I think it's totally doable, and in some ways is actually better than face to face.
Yeah. Like what? Like what is better?
Because we can all see everything together. Sometimes when you have something on the wall, you need to get close to it, and everybody huddle around, and hard to, you know, get to it.
Okay.
Hard to see the big picture. I can zoom in, zoom out. I can see what other people are doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, that actually is better than face to face in a way.
Yeah.
What are the other pros and cons from the sort of work, you know, physical workshop approach to a sprint like this?
I think this is one of the pro. I found that I get less influenced by other people's opinions or behaviors, because I cannot simply see it. So I can just be myself and do, you know, express however I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the anonymous part of writing things down and being able to read everything. Sometimes you can't read people's handwriting, or there's too much coding in the handwriting, and so it influences decisions. So I really like that. I feel like it helped us move very quickly rather than trying to get caught up in that type of aspect of it.
I also like that when kind of you're working online, when you give us like 3 minutes to think about it, I actually think about it because I'm by my own in my own space. So there is no additional chit chat going on. So I can just focus and actually give up some ideas. While in a workshop environment, there will be always a bit of a communication, a bit of a chit chat going on. So a bit more of a deep thoughts even within this 3 minutes time.
I agree. Yeah, we when we're in a group in person, we tend to kind of share ideas as we're generating them, and sometimes that really lowers productivity. We generate fewer ideas because of that.
When we talk about ideas, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I was just actually going to say, you know, I think for this especially, like, I agree with what everybody was saying too. You know, as an introvert, like, I would rather not talk too much and then just do. So I think this actually fits me quite well.
Yeah, great, thanks.
Yeah, we'll flip that and say that as an extrovert, because I talk too much, this works better. It helps me focus on a physical thing. I'd probably be asking, oh, so why did you think about this? Oh, what do you think is happening? What happened? So it cuts all that distraction. I like the fact that you can seamlessly also move across screens. I'm calling it screen sections, steps, whatever, to just get your flow of thought. You have it all together, which in a physical space will be too large to manage.
Yeah.
Just a note on an observation on the interaction as well. In real world physical settings where workshops can happen, it's quite easy, sometimes without even knowing it, to be swayed by other people's views and opinions, kind of something akin to groupthink. I think that's a little bit mitigated against in this type of interaction. I think it might be less easy to be swayed by someone else's idea in this way of interacting, or at least you'd be very conscious of being swayed by someone else's idea, perhaps more so than in a real life setting where you have a lot of subtle emotional and social interactions that are influencing you that are absent in this format. So it could be an advantage.
I agree.
Totally agree.
I also like the use of color and just visually how that moved the process forward. And I see that as a really flexible tool.
Thank you.
Eva,
yes.
Sorry, just one last thing. I wonder if like there's a maximum limit of people who can join this without being, you know, too messy and too confusing.
Yeah, that's a good question. I've never run that kind of session, but I've seen people, like 100 people on the board on some videos. Hyung, have you participated in something big?
Yeah, I've done with Robert where there was 100 people on the board.
Yeah, and how did it work?
It was, I mean, for something like this, it's great where people are learning and experimenting with it. I for a client, I would limit it to less than 10. To be honest.
Yeah.
Or can
one note?
Sorry.
I was going to say one note on the private public. So people were asking about the anonymous versus non-anonymous. If you're bridging with Zoom, it's extremely easy for people to actually go up and change their name just in the participant list. So once you know that you're anonymous owl, you can actually just go up and put, you know, Joshua-owl if you do want to have identities be revealed. Now, sometimes anonymous is awesome intentionally, but if you want to have that back and forth interaction so you know who you're talking about, for example, if you wanted to go to breakout groups and still talk about what's going on in the board, that can be one way to do it, just as a little tech note.
Yeah, if we have a large group, can we do breakout groups with the same activities, like in separate boards? Is that possible?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then do you need to have different facilitators in each room then? Is that how it would work?
You would probably have someone who is dedicated process leader in that room. So you just continue then the exercise. Or you can have instruction, like on every top of the exercise, I have instructions and steps. So everybody can actually read through these steps and they can do it. I want to ask everybody about the ideas. So this was all about the process and the tools. And what do you think about the ideas that we actually came up with and our question? So people who like why did you choose those ideas? For example, Grant, why do you want to work on the tool to show emotions? And
yeah, because I think the trick with not having the kinesthetics of face-to-face interaction really impacts on how you can engage with somebody. So to have something that can offer sort of a meta reflection in the moment, I think is very, and there's technology that does that, right? I mean, it's been around for ages.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah. Thank you, Hussain. What do you think about this idea? Why did you choose it?
So for me, it was more or less like, because I've been working on a similar idea side by side before joining this workshop, because I've been thinking that, because for me, like it's 50-50 at work. 50% I have to work in the office, 50% I have to work at home. But like, I guess for my friends who have been working on it, like, they have been having like disconnect with an actual or real world, because virtual world has been like so much overpowering for them so far. So that's why I thought, like, for them it will be like a really good emotional balance between and a good connection to the real world as well.
I see. Yeah. Thank you. Let's hear from people in a yellow group. Karin, why do you think yellow idea is good? Why do you want to take that one forward?
I think it's helpful just to be able to see if somebody's having a good day or a bad day, and just to be able to respect how much to pull them out, or just to be able to gauge where they're at. I think it's really hard virtually to know that, or for sure over email. So I think I think that if you can avoid misunderstandings, all the better.
Yeah. I think it's a very, very easy to implement, actually. You can just find a scale, find some kind of emotional scales and implement them somewhere in a Zoom. Click on the color background. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or change your virtual background, actually.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sundari, what do you think about this idea?
Yeah, I think just being a bit more mindful. We are talking a lot about mental health at the workplace. So when you're in a physical space, when you're going into office, you don't know what has happened the previous night or in their personal lives when they come in. So I think this is a way to segue nicely online to be mindful, but maybe take the conversation offline with the people. Like, say, if red is sad for whatever, as against red happy in China.
Yeah, even the color, I want to talk more, right? So I need more conversations. That could be
and
a color.
actually
Yeah.
pick up the phone and call at that time and speak to that person if they are, just I love the of colors and moods.
Yeah.
You know, we used to just pick up the phone and call someone right away. Now we kind of ask in WhatsApp first, can I call you? Or even when you just call them out of the blue, you say, oh, is it convenient to talk? Can we talk now? You know, we didn't used to have that.
And even about
that's a really good observation.
Yeah.
It's the other thing is that it's each person's own responsibility whether or not they answer the call, right? So it's a bizarre, sort of like this wasteful interaction, this pre-permission, for asking permission if it's okay that someone actually answered their own phone. So I think, maybe one of the things that could come out of this is getting rid of a few of the PC politics that invade almost every aspect of our lives, and just using technology to get back to the way we were before technology. That would be quite an interesting project.
That's very well put, actually. Yeah. That's interesting.
So the green one, you want to say something else, Sundari? Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. No, I've just said people keep phones on mute anyways. So if you call, you're not disturbing anybody or anything. It's not that they're waiting for your call and keeping it loud and not going to be disturbed. Oh, they'll see a missed call, they'll call back. Just now, a friend of mine called me from Singapore.
Years ago,
messaged saying, "I'll call you back." That's it. It's okay to call and be told call back. It's not an insult.
Years ago, when I was much younger, I was in the States for the first time, and there was email. And my grandmother, when she was alive, she tried to send an email to me while I was in the States, but she figured with the time zone difference, she held back from sending the email. And when I asked her why, she said because she didn't want to wake me up. It's cute, right? So.
Yeah, that's very cute.
That's adorable.
Let's see the green idea, track and measure interaction. That's really interesting. I think I saw some kind of
Richard loves this one.
Yeah, Richard, why do you like
He has
this
a lot
one?
to say.
Yes.
Because I think it could be both very helpful or very horrific. If that's why I think the team I would want to be in, because I think if it's done badly, it would be absolutely horrendous.
Yes.
That you're sort of going, your interaction today wasn't good enough. You're on your first warning. There's done well where you're looking at, okay, are the interactions in relation to the kind of work that's being done, and et cetera, et cetera. But done badly, it's another level of surveillance that on our work that perhaps we don't need. And because we're talking about work from home, we already know that one of the reasons that people don't work from home as well as they might is because they're being surveilled, and they're acting out the process of working rather than actually working. So it can add dimensions of that to make it worse to work from home than better if it's done wrong.
Yeah, I think social media already tracked our interaction, like Facebook. That's why I've deactivated it, I think. But we don't get to see that information. They get this information, and it's used as currency to buy our free service from them, basically. But what I'm interested here is to use it as a self-reflective tool. for ourselves.
How would you, for example,
not to even judge whether you haven't had enough interaction or not, because it really depends on what you want to do. So it's for you to see the kind of interaction that you've been having, not just how much or how often, but the kinds or the quality of the interaction.
I agree with Keith about, like, I really enjoyed this idea to the point where it can create the better self-awareness in terms of like where your time, where you invest the time, whether the relation is getting anywhere in terms of do you build a stronger tie, or actually the person is not that interested and you're not using your kind of social capital in a efficient way. And as Richard said, if you do it in the wrong way, it will be very, very bad, and it's really dangerous. At the same time, as Keith already mentioned, if it's already done, but by social media platforms, right? We just don't have access to it, and I do think that it's kind of unfair. So it's empowering people to look at themselves and to look at their network and to actually make decisions by themselves. So it's actually empowering in terms of granting access to the information it's kind of more or less already tracked by social media.
So thank you all very much. I think we need to close down. We are 25 minutes over time. I see a group is very, very engaged. I invite you all to network, and everybody, you can go into the beginning of this board in Mural, where you can copy paste your LinkedIn profile inside. Write your name. If you want to choose a photo of your favorite holiday destination, it can be a conversation starter later on if you want to connect with the group here. And I will be following up with all the links and mural templates, and also the output from this mural, and with a little form that's going to ask you, what would you like to hear on what would be the next topic that you would like to explore regarding our current situation, or COVID-19? And actually, I think I would like to invite everybody to do that now, over here. And in just 2 minutes time, I'm gonna invite you here in this area. What could be the next virtual lightning decision jam topic that I can do? So if you have any idea, please write it down. Let's take 1 minute for that, and then we can say goodbye to everyone.
Choosing a new mouse for Richard.
Okay, everybody start doing that now. How are we doing on chat, Josh? Are there any people left as attendees still?
Yeah, there are 5 people left as attendees.
Do they have any ideas? Guys, if you who are not on the mural board, if you have any ideas, please type them in a chat, and we copy paste them here.
We had some of the attendees were very vocal in the chat, which was awesome. We did get some great comments across, great questions. Excellent. But not currently. I think they've all went to dinner.
Yes, we're all hungry. It's time for dinner.
It's possible I'm ordering food right now. Macy's not hungry though, she's in Hawaii.
You're home.
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. That's a lot of topics to choose from. Thank you very much. So for the last group picture, I would just like you to grab some kind of item. That's Robert Scrobb idea. Grab some kind of item near you that you want to pick up for a group photo. Yay! You need to show something. One more time. Everybody has something? Yay!
The corgi!
Oh, no, a Shiba.
The Shiba. The Shiba.
Thank you,
Shiba that's
everyone.
disguising itself as a corgi.
I really enjoyed facilitating this for you. I'll follow up very soon. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank
It's been very
you.
enjoyable.
Thank you very much, Eva.
Great.
It was really great. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
We're almost down to a singing group. Now we've got a band. Just 5 people left. Oh, yeah, I can tell.
Okay, it's 4.
Paulina is definitely ready to sing.
I'm always ready to sing.
I knew it. I knew it.
You could be
Is
our
that
background music.
Oh, you're at the desk.
I am at the desk. Yeah, I'm in United Center right now.
Oh, brilliant. I didn't notice until I saw you zoomed up bigger and I could see a floor plan in the back. And I was like, wow, you have interesting architectural decorations at your home.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm doing.
She has this desk plan on the home wall.
I'm so committed
Exactly.
that I'm having
That is
everything
true
disaster-related.
commitment.
Yeah.
It's true commitment.
All right, guys.
Ooh, thanks a lot, Paulina, for being here.
Bye.
Bye. Whew.
Hey, nice job.
Oh, that was mind-blowing.
And we're still recording you saying that was mind-blowing and nice job. Just FYI, you can stop or you can keep recording.